been so much fun. I feel like I've been going on a tour of all different places around the world where people have been participating in my flow challenges and leap challenges. So much fun with Suze. Hello, Suze. It's so great to have you here. And you're sideways.
Well, let's see if we can fix that.
Ta-da! That is, this is what I love about leaping.
But now I'm kind of like...
You're great. You're perfect.
That's what I love about you. Let me see. Where am I going? Go that way. No, I need to go that way.
So this is a perfect example of what we do, right?
Yes.
We show up and we just keep doing it, and we flow and we leap, and we're okay if it doesn't come out perfectly, but we're just doing it, and we're in flow.
That's right. We keep going. One of the things I was thinking is you always told me it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can do it any way you need to. And that's finally gotten into my DNA now with this latest creative project. Just think of funny side. All right, I'll get it together.
So much fun. So
I know.
let me just give a little history. Suze and I were talking about all the different touchstones of creativity, which are in my book, and I have a new free downloadable journal, which I know, Suze, you've already gotten from my website, which leads us through the 7 questions that we can ask to connect with our own secrets for getting into flow, our own unique secrets. And right now we're focusing on the circles, the touchstone of circles and connections. And I just love the story of how we connected, because kind of like Tamara, who we just talked to a little bit ago, you know, we just found each other through Instagram and the algorithms, and it's just such a good reminder that there are good people everywhere in the world, and like-minded people on similar journeys, people with similar struggles, and we're all in this together. And so I'm so grateful that that Instagram somehow brought us together 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, or sometime around.
Or it might even be 5 now. I don't know. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic, however long ago that was.
Yeah. So that's 4 years ago. That's when I started doing these 28-day flow challenges, and you've been with me every step of the way. And you were in Hawaii, and now you're in Mississippi. And it's just been such a gift. It's just such an honor to watch your creativity unfold and all the different manifestations of your creativity, and how you connect so easily with flow. You're just this flow goddess that just keeps doing it and keeps creating. And so do you want to, what's that?
Flow feels so good. If I don't do flow, I get really crabby.
And for you, that means your creative activities that help you so quickly and easily get into the flow state, right?
Yeah. You once said to me, my creativity is self-care, and it is so true, in that I have to do it. I love to do it, and flow just makes it much easier. Your meditations have made it much easier. It's just been a wonderful journey. And I'm such a different person, so more confident, mature, emotionally mature, as well as just physically mature, but it's really changed my life totally. I'm engaged. I'm not afraid anymore. I used to be a little scaredy cat. And I'm not that anymore. True, I have times where I get anxiety, but for the most part, I do my stuff. I enjoy my stuff. I'm an adult. I just love it, and it really is down to flow changing my life.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm so grateful to hear that.
Well, I'm grateful I found you, because been an excellent guide, teacher, whatever you want to call it, for me to get where I needed to go to live a full and joyful life, and not, the other thing is I gave up perfection. I don't care if it's perfect anymore. If I want to do something, I do it, and I just keep going till it fits what I want. I mean, it may not be perfect, but if it's good enough for me, then it's good enough. And this creative environment project I'm working on has been wonderful because I'm adding more color to our home, and I'm doing color for the furniture and quotes and things like that. So that's just been lots of fun. But I'm taking my time. That was the other thing you taught me, is there's no time limit on anything I have to do. I'm just really, really grateful and in a good place, in a very good place. So,
I'm so glad.
yeah.
Well, for those who don't know you and don't know your story, do you want to share a little bit about some of the creative projects that you've chosen from the very beginning as your flow activities, and what
Mm-hmm.
you've chosen for we just finished a 28-day leap challenge, which was a little different. My flow challenges are just simply choosing, a 5 to 10 minute activity that you absolutely love to do, that has a high chance of getting you into a flow state, which is that state where we're so engaged in what we're doing that we often lose track of time and have all these other wonderful benefits as well. But the leap challenge was a little different. It's the first time I did it, and it was in the celebration of it being leap year and today being that extra day, and also that my book that I published in 2022 is called Leap with Me. And that's after, oh, you have it. Wonderful.
Where am I going?
You're right. There you go. Yeah, thank you, Sue.
There we
Yeah, I love
go.
that.
But anyways, the
Wonderful.
thing is, you've been opening during the sleep challenge. You've opened it up and picked a page. Well, I said while I was waiting, I'll do that. I picked circles
Uh,
and how to expand my circle, and which is something I want. I think I want to do, is expand my circle of people and stuff like that. So we've got some
wonderful.
ideas.
Well, I love that that's the topic that we're talking about now today. We're
Yeah,
on that touchstone, and you randomly opened to that page.
randomly opened up.
There's a
Yeah.
sort of magic, I think, that happens when we sort of drop into flow. It's that intuition and that's why I called it, the subtitle of the book is Finding and Following Your True Voice,
Mhm.
because that's what it's all about,
Yeah.
right? It's connecting with the true self and using flow, and the leaps that we take, always trying to stay aligned with who we really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And
Well,
sometimes that takes a lot of courage. So,
you
yeah.
also provide a very safe place by not making it perfectionist and by saying do it however you want. And it took me a couple of flow challenges to even begin to do that. But once, I would repeat it to myself as I started, and then my flow activities would just get longer and longer and longer. And so I'd be in the flow more. And now, I drop into flow whenever I feel like it at this point. I used to start 5 minutes, and then I said, oh, well, let's see if I can keep flow going for a morning. And then when I did that, I said, let's keep flow going part of the afternoon. And now it's just, I want to do something, I do it. And, I'm sleeping well at night and eating well and taking care of myself because I'm really doing a lot of fun stuff.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, it really is awesome. I feel like I've come home in a way, to myself. Um, and the other thing about this leap challenge and the flow, it's a pretty big one for me because I have several pieces of furniture that I want to redo and, fix up. And, but I told myself I'll take it a day at a time and I'll do what I can. And I got the flu in the middle of it and I didn't want to do anything. So I had a little short list of the next steps for whatever I was doing. I was designing a chair of positivity or a desk of creativity. And so I found one step. It was maybe a minute long, and I did that, but I felt good for that day. And so the momentum never stopped. It kept going by just doing a bit of flow a day. So that was a real eye opener that I could do that, that I'm resilient enough now that I can do that, that I can keep going and, be persistent, get done.
I love that. A couple things that you're saying, which just totally resonate with me and sort of have become such a passion for me. The first is that flow can become a habit, and we can train our brains and teach our brains how to get into flow. And we start by doing something really simple that we absolutely love to do. And it's really helpful if it's not tied to our identity in the outer world, or we're not really strongly connected to having to be perfect, as you say, at it, because we're more apt to get into flow. And then we train our brains to get into flow, and then it can apply to other things. And then we naturally start to, as you said, a little, what they call micro flow, which is just a small little experience that we might not even view as special, can grow into a macro flow, a big flow experience that lasts multiple hours. And it's just all the process of creating it as a habit, just like any other habit. So thank you so much for sharing that piece. I really, really appreciate that. There's so much in what you're sharing, but I love both what you're saying about, training your brain and it applying to other things, but also the beauty of, that 1 minute. It's so easy. I think we are so programmed to disregard or belittle the small stuff.
Yeah.
And we all know that the small stuff is our life, right? Like that is what it's made of. Yeah. But it's so important to remember that it doesn't take
No.
long. Even a minute of flow can change the way we view our day. When we're looking back at our favorite moments of our day, we might remember that one moment where we were doing our art, or for me, it's doodling is something that gets me into flow, because I so don't care if anybody says whether I'm a good doodler or not. It's just I instantly fall into flow, and it's so meditative for me. And where I get into flow easily as a writer, and I always have, but even that, it takes me a little bit longer, and my ego gets more involved because I've done writing as a profession. So, yeah, so it's just so much of what you say, I really resonate with, and I just would love others to remember, or all of us to remember on those days when we're having a bad day, or having a feeling stuck, that sometimes just a minute is all that it takes.
It doesn't have to be anything perfect. It can be just something minor. The other thing I wanted to say about flow is that because it's so part of my DNA, and I drop in so easily, it has expanded into the rest of my life. Like self-care I was talking about, eating right and sleeping right. That's part of flow. That's me prioritizing things to get them done. Working in the yard, that type of thing. It's like everywhere.
Yeah. And that's what I call a flow foundation, right? Like there's this flow, we're always looking for that sweet spot. So we don't want to be too bored, but we don't want to be too stressed out, right? We're always looking to challenge ourselves, get a little bit out of our comfort zone, but not so much out of the comfort zone that we're in anxiety that comes with things needing to be right, And so, so the foundation, though, on a day where we haven't slept, and I know because I have struggled with sleep issues myself, on a day where we haven't slept, or a day where we have the flu, like you said in the middle of your leap challenge this month, you got the flu, suddenly our sweet spot is in a whole different place, right? Where, then that's the 1 minute day versus the hour or multiple hours of flow day. And so, but it's really, really important, what you're saying is to eat right, the basics, right? To sleep well, to do whatever we can. And I love that you're using flow as a way to make those activities more engaging and fun. And but that's our flow foundation, that's our base. And so the stronger our base is, and the stronger we're taking care of our core basic needs, then the easier it is to get into flow, and the higher our sweet spot is, right? Like we're able to maintain flow. Like it's really hard for me to write for 3 hours straight in a flow state if I haven't slept the night before.
Sure.
But on the nights when I have, or I'm feeling healthy, that's not so hard to achieve. So Yeah, so you really are a flow
Well,
master, Suze. You have
yeah, thank you. I love
figured
it.
out so much.
I do love it. Do you want to see some of the things I've
I
done?
do, yeah. We're going to go back on Zoom for a meditation in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, but let's take about 5 minutes because you have so much that you've done through all
Okay.
the years. I would love you to give us a little tour of some of your
Okay.
most current creative projects.
All right. Let's go see. I guess I'm doing this right.
You
I'm still
are.
straight.
We can see you.
Wait a minute. I got to switch the camera though. How do I do that? I have to use my other. Well,
Oh,
we'll
maybe
just.
just turn it around
Yeah.
instead of, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, is that
So,
your, I see a yellow
yep.
sweater. Is that your knitting?
Yeah. This is my knitting. These are my.
Okay. And a turquoise. It is sideways for some reason, just so
There we
you
go.
know. No, it's upside down, but that's okay.
Maybe this way. No.
Perfect. No, you had it.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
I had it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I need to find it. There.
There, look at all that. So,
Yeah.
so what I love, so in the beginning, Suze, you were doing digital photography and
Yeah.
poetry. And then you had a time, I think it was in the winter maybe or
Yeah.
fall, where you
All right.
really shifted into knitting and look
Yeah.
at all that you created on all these flow challenges. Can you tell us what they are? I see red and I
Yeah.
see aqua.
That's a car bath. I joined a knit along. That's the latest one. This is a
Okay.
Felix. The blue one's a Felix sweater that I
Wow.
just did on my own. And then this yellow one is a lady in Scotland. Whoops. I think that.
You're good. We can see you.
Okay.
Yep, there's the
I think that's
yellow.
my favorite one actually.
The
And
yellow.
this blue one. Oh, I wish.
I know it's hard with the camera with Instagram Live, but you're doing great. We can see the yellow.
Anyways, the blue one, which is over near here somewhere, that one, that was my very first one. And I'm gonna turn it back around because I just don't know. Oh, is this? Yeah. No, I'm upside down. Stuff, don't we? Oh, I forgot to show you the treasure. Let's see. Okay. Now, where is it?
Well, I love how prolific you are. That's a good sign,
Yeah.
right? That's what flow does. And now we're seeing
That's the
you're
treasure
an
chest.
incredible artist. And this was what you've been working on for your leap challenge, right? Where we do a little bit of a leap every day towards a big leap. And I know you've been working on painting and designing furniture a little bit every day. And you're
Yeah, I can't get any better than that. We're just gonna have to come back to that another. I'll send you a picture.
yeah. Yeah, I'll post. Yeah, you post a picture and you can tag me, and I'll put it on
Okay.
my story of your furniture. How about that?
There you
It's beautiful, but your furniture is gorgeous. Your digital photography is gorgeous. Your
go.
poetry is gorgeous. You're such a creator, and I just love, to see all. It's just such a good reminder that, sometimes we get into our niche and we think, okay, this is where
Yeah.
I experience flow, writing and that's it, or knitting and that's it, that's my happy place. But it's just so good to remember that, it's all about training our brain and creating the habit and flow. The beautiful thing about flow and what I love about it more than anything is, for 30 years now, I've been studying all different practices, coaching practices, Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. I've studied lots of different forms of coaching and energy healing and soul coaching, and all of it is based on connecting with that inner, whether we call it the inner light or egoless self or whatever it is. But most of those practices are things that have been developed by human beings at some point in time and taught to us by teachers that are higher than us, and we learned from them. So we're learning a system that isn't innate, and we can learn it like any other skill, like math. But the beautiful thing about flow is it is innate. And it is something that we have been doing since the day we were born, whether we realize it or not. And little kids get into flow all the time. because it's linked to learning. It's linked to learning skills. So it's that feel good energy that our bodies create for us when we're doing something that's healthy for us, like learning a skill that's linked to our survival. You know, it's good for us to be creative. It's good for us to be intuitive. And so it's just so wonderful to remember that. And your artwork and your journey with flow in managing, you know, like what you shared about your anxiety and managing, just making life better is what I believe flow offers to all of us, and that it can be, it's more about remembering what we know and and seeing what we're already doing naturally in a new light. And so you know, I just am very grateful to you
Well, I'm
for
grateful.
sharing.
I
Yeah.
often think about when I was a child. I used to do a lot of artwork. And I often think about, well, if I was a child now, what would I want to do? And that immediately, I dive right into flow and I find something that's, you know, creative and great and love it. So
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your
you're
time,
welcome.
Suze, and your
Thank
generous spirit and your courage and your fun antics with your camera that kept us laughing. Thank you for it all. And now I'm going to Zoom and we're going to meditate. I don't know if you're going to be joining me, but everyone is welcome.
Yeah, I'll join you. I'll join you for this one. Yes, I think so.
Wonderful.
All right.
So if you're new here and you want to join us for a meditation, or you want to meet Suze and talk a little bit more about flow with us, all you have to do is sign up in my bio. There's a link and it takes you to my subscription form, and there's a checkbox for the Leap Day celebration, which is what we're doing today. And as soon as you click that, you'll get emailed the Zoom link so you can join us on the meditation. And you can, if not this hour, I'll be doing it for at the top of every hour until 5 p.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you there. And then in an hour half an hour at 1:30, I'm going to be talking with Yen in Ohio on the same topic about connections and circles and the power of supporting each other on our creative journeys and our journeys to being true to ourselves. So thank you, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I'll see you in a few minutes on Zoom. Thank you, Suze.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.